What's going on, everybody? It's Cable Line Network here, chilling out, maxing out, doing my thing. Alright, y'all. In today's video, we're going to be talking about Star Wars The Force Awakens, top 5 major plot holes. And it's going to be a little bit of an explanation for this. Alright, guys, let's get into this. Now, how is Rey so adept at using the Force without any training, which is my personal opinion. Now, this is what the directors say. People are just used to thinking about Rey as a steady-minded, strong-willed character because that's who she is. Now, much cinematic weight is placed on her summoning the Force. People generally have forgotten the preceding scenes that led up to the event. As a result, it seemed like Rey just had a sudden rise of the Force, which makes no sense. But if you look back in Star Wars lore, you'll find similar scenarios for Luke. His church run, receiving his lightsaber, his second confrontation with Vader. Luke shows similar rites of passage where he confronts his fear and uses the Force to guide him. Now, let's be honest here. Let's be 100% honest here. That still don't explain how she was able to do that. That says what Luke did. Luke was trained by Yoda. Luke was guided by Obi-Wan to use the Force on the Millennium Falcon going to confront Darth Vader. So, to the directors, that still doesn't make sense to why that chick was still able to use the Force. You guys wrote it in there and you had no explanation for it. Get over it. She should have never have been able to use the Force like that. She's a bitch. Alright, now let's get into this even more. Plot hole number 2. The galaxy has already forgotten about Luke Skywalker after 30 years. Yeah, I really didn't understand that. How do you forget about the person who stopped the terror of the universe? Darth Vader. Everybody who heard of Darth Vader knew his name. He's the one that stopped him. How do you forget about something? Like, seriously. Alright, now this is another explanation they had. As advanced as some of the technology in Star Wars is, many planets seem the downright primitive compared to modern day Earth in terms of mass education and communications. Most people seem to learn about the universe around them through conversation and stories rather than classroom books and newscasts. And with the Jedi Order having been wiped out at the end of Revenge of the Sith, many people who grew up afterwards, especially those on, more primitive planets, just haven't had the opportunity to learn about the Jedi. Alright, so that makes a little bit of sense that some planets don't know, but then there are some planets that do know. So basically, this movie focused on the planets that had no idea who he was, but there are planets that actually do know who he was. Alright, now, plot hole number 3. Why doesn't Kylo Ren know his hero, Darth Vader, rejoined the good guys at the last minute? Honestly, he wouldn't have been able to know unless Luke told him. The only person that was there was Palpatine, and Palpatine got thrown all the way down that shaft. So, yeah, Luke told him. And he honestly didn't tell him the whole story. He told him that about his father being the most evil and such, but he didn't really tell him about much. Maybe he didn't think it was an important note, but maybe that could have been the difference between Kylo Ren staying with the light side and joining the dark side, because they see that his hero eventually went back to light. So once again, it is Luke's fault. Blame Luke. Hashtag. Alright. Now, Kylo Ren's lightsaber. Now, people were talking about how they didn't like the crossguard lightsaber. Now, this is the thing. What is it? The lightsaber crystal that Kylo Ren used, I forgot the name of it, was cracked and it didn't focus energy like a lightsaber should. So the blades were less, how do I say, they were in a fury, and those vents were for the access energy on the sides of the hilt. Otherwise, that thing would seriously be unstable and most likely accidentally kill him. Alright, now guys, these are a few plot holes. Well, these are the top 5 plot holes that were in Star Wars Episode 7. And I know you guys kind of had a problem with it, but don't worry, I easily corrected a lot of things that you had misinterpreted, and the directors, of course, were given information about this, but let's be honest here, it still didn't explain how Rey really knew how to use the Force. It just said that Luke, went through a similar passage. But let's be honest here. So let's say if you went to go learn how to fly a plane, you went to school, you went in the plane, you sat in it, and then you flew it, right? So let's say if I just walked through the classroom and I just happened to walk through the plane and I just sit on the driver's seat, will I know how to fly it? No. Thanks again for watching, guys. This has been Cable Line Network here. Peace out, and I'll talk to y'all